Going live. We're live. We're live, Eddie. We're live. Cheers. How you doing, Ed?
Good.
You doing good? You got your Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
You having fun with it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, that's good. I gotta do. This is 5 a.m. Mester Show, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and it's 6:09 a.m. in the morning. Episode 157. Hope you're doing well. This is post Christmas. I have off today. Hang out with the kiddos. Do some planning. Eddie's here enjoying his new game, right? You having fun? You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Glad you like it. And I got my Christmas cup, Super Dad cup, and my local school sweatshirt that I asked for. So my kids got that for me. It's awesome. And it keeps me warm. It's cold out. Hope you're all doing well. And the holidays are here. Probably not many people in the office going to be in the office today. I don't know. Maybe overseas. Maybe there's more people here in the States. There's not going to be very many people at all. And when you are trying to get a hold of us, there's no one there. Like, where is everybody? I'll probably do some things. Anyway, hope you're doing well. And it is Wednesday, right? Thursday.
Yeah.
What's today?
Thursday.
Today, Thursday? It is Thursday. It is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We have to bring a fortune cookie with us tomorrow when we go out.
Yeah.
All right. So we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way so you can get home to your family and friends to enjoy some time with them and maybe pursue some new endeavors. And we'll talk about that in a second too. And also to help produce product for your customers quicker and faster so that your company can make more money. Maybe you can make more money and do it in such a way that you're not all stressed out and that you have good work-life balance and have some fun along the way. And today we're going to talk about two topics. One, talk about planning for the new year. And then two, I just want to continue a topic because I was doing some analysis the other day on multiple teams. And we had that on one of the posts. We talked about how much time gets lost. And I'm like, wow, it's a lot of time. But then I did a little more analysis in a different way and looked at productivity, right? So we're going to go through that today. So let's do plan the new year thing first. And one of our things on our mission is, so you can be home to your family and friends, but also maybe you can do some stuff. So now this time of year is a good time to look at what's out there. We're going to put some more posts up. My hand's getting better. It actually moves today. Still kind of weak. I'm working on the website so I can put more blog posts up, text written form, and stuff like that too, as well as the audio and video. Had some fun yesterday, meet with family. The nephews, right? They're all teenagers. And I told them on Spotify. He's like, check it on the phone. You are on Spotify. I'm like, yeah, we're on all of them. So it was fun. So shout out to Connor, to your friends, and to Hayden, right? They're out there having a good old time. But it's just interesting. I could tell stories on that too. But talk about plan for New Year. So, now's a good time I like to say, you plan for like a year, 5 years, 10 years. And it's really just a plan, just an idea. Where would you like to be in those time periods? It's not a drawn out, detailed plan where you analyze it and go crazy. Like every year, I usually say I want to start a new thing or do a new thing every year. Maybe get a new cert once a year, once every 2 years, or a new capability, just to keep growing the path and see what's out there. We're going to provide some piece of content to give you some feedback on that. But like I said, it's a good chance to think about what you want to do over the next year. Really recommend it in the IT tech world. But some things haven't changed. Like my nephew's going to build himself a computer from scratch with the motherboard and the chips and all. I'm looking at it. It hasn't changed in 20 years since I used to build computers. Maybe the chips are faster, but it seems like all the hardware and everything, the interfaces are pretty much the same. Which I found interesting that hasn't changed in 20 years. So I have a feeling next 20 years, there's going to be some revolutionary stuff out there maybe to just totally blow all this stuff out of the water. Anyway, but something to think about. Look at the certifications out there. What certification you might want to get. We're going to do a episode on the certs that are out there and what's being looked for.
I got Pikachu.
And you got Pikachu. You got a Pikachu?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. And just think about that and where you want to do stuff at home. You want to be home with your family more. Heard a good story the other day of someone who was taking some time off and decided that they really enjoyed being home with their family more. Right? It's a good story. I won't go into it, but they decided that they're working, 60-hour weeks and running around, and something happened, and they had to go back, just do the 40 hours, and they were worried about they wouldn't have anything to do, and they're like, oh, there's plenty of fun things to do. There's plenty of work out there to do. There's plenty of things to do, and they're enjoying that time home with family and friends, which is kind of what we talk about. So anyway, talked about just plan your time. Take a chance. Look at where you want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Just a couple of segments, maybe 6 months. Say maybe even I've done that before. I think we did an episode on the family planning where we did a retro. We looked at where we wanted to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. You can think about that. So like, where do you want to be in 6 months, and then where do you want to be at the end of the year? Now you may not get it all done, but you get some of it done. It's better than none of it, right? And get you to where your goal is, whatever that would be. Anyway, so we talked about that. So, and we're going to put episodes. Again, this is 5am Mester Scrum. We talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical, tactical way. So I did a little bit of whiteboarding before we got on here. We talked about being on multiple teams, and I get that a lot, especially in Safe World and other worlds where they're trying to scale and trying to do stuff like they did in Waterfall and the Agile world. Problem is, in Waterfall wasn't very effective either. You just thought it was very effective. Thing about what Scrum and everything tells you, it brings it to light. Like think about it. If you're in a Waterfall thing and you're a person and they want to have your time most effective percentage, they'll put you on multiple projects, right? And even in a project, you have discussions between groups and you have to coordinate. And the worst thing about it, it's usually with different people in the project because they're different projects where, but the need to communicate on each individual project is still there. You may not think it's there, but it is there. In Scrum, it's more blatant, right? If you're on a team, which is everything, and you're working with, the nice thing is you're working with all the same people all the time. You're on a team, and then they say, hey, I need you to put 50% of your time on another time, and another team, and you're working on 4 or 5 different things. I've had some people that work 6 things. Then they tell me, I don't want to do this. And why do you keep doing it? And why? And then I have managers say, why don't I want to work it so hard? So why do you keep putting on all these activities? I mean, it's nice to be cross-trained, but there's a little excessive, right? So here we got our little chart, and we talked about it the other day. And we said, but there's between 10 and 15 hours. 10 is more pure Scrum. 15 is more like safe and scaled activities. Or once you scale, you have more meetings with different teams. There's a RT, there's a train, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And there's features and how they plan it and get feedback on estimating. So between 10 and 15 hours per sprint is spent on Scrum and Agile. Well, 10 hours in a Scrum team, I think it's like 9 something. So we'll say it's 10, just because it makes my math easy. Okay. That's why we're doing it. It's just to give you an idea. And each organization is different. Like at my work, we calculate 1.5 hours per day that you can effectively do it. Once you take away, we do feature refinement and stuff like that a couple of times a day and spend some hours on it. So we're more at the 15 hours per sprint lost time for productivity due to teaming and stuff like that, where you're not really coding or testing product. But normally it's more like 10. It's like 9 hours. When you get really good effective teams, it's even less than this. But that's when you really get going. This actually goes down to like 9, 8. 6 would probably be the smallest per 2-week sprint. So it's like a 2-week sprint, right? So that's why we have 80 hours here. So if we did 10 hours, we're on one team, right? It's not bad. It's 12.5%. If it's 15, it's like 18.75%. So 15 hours out of 80. So let's think about this. Now, if we do 2 teams, and this is the other level. So the other level we said, boy, 15 hours or 10 hours, that's a lot of time to be lost. Now watch this. This is something that came up to me the other day, and I'm using it to explain why you don't want to have people assigned to multiple teams. 2 teams, we're talking 20 hours, right? Lost on team events. That's actually 25%. So now you got 25% productivity loss. When you put them on 2 teams, they lose 25% productivity, and there's no way to gain it back. So you can't code more, right? So you're on 2 teams. 15 now, this is the kicker. This becomes 30 hours, right? And that becomes what? 36 hours? 30, well, it's a 7 aside. Let's just say it's 37 hours. 37%. So when you're on 2 teams, in a regular Agile world, you're getting like 25% productivity lost. And maybe a safe or scaled environment world, you're losing like 30 hours, 30% of your productivity. Now here's the killer, right? 3 teams. And don't say you haven't seen it before, because I saw it the other day. Like I said, when we started this, which got me on that thing where I saw someone was like, 12% availability. What is 12%? How do you get 12% availability? 3 teams. 3 teams. Unless they say you're doing 80%, 10%, fine. But I have a feeling they're working on 3 teams. But I saw a couple people, because I did an analysis of my team, my organization. Only a handful are on 2. The other organization, they really blow it up. And then there's 3 things. And this, like product owners, be mindful of your product owners, right? And they're just as important as the development team. And you get product owners on multiple teams. Watch this number. And they are really hit hard by the safe and scaled more than the agile. Product owners is really bad, right? Because now you got all these feature plannings. You got to meet with program managers. You got to meet RTEs. You got to meet. You're just meeting galore, right? So as a product owner, that's tough. And it okay. We're gonna do 3 teams. We're talking 30 hours. Okay, it's not too bad. It's like 30, 37, 37%. You're still there. Watch what happens on 3 teams for somebody here. Now we're talking 45 hours, right? And that's 18. So that's 47. What's that? 55. It's like 55%, right? 55%. So now, if you're in the scaled world, you spend 45 hours in team events out of a 2-week sprint. It's 55%. At that point, you might as well hire another person. So you're going to have to hire. So you got 1 person on 3 teams. In order to make the productivity to be equivalent to a regular person, you're going to have a 2 for 1. 2 for 1 person. You're going to have a 2 for 1. That's a terrible 2. 2 for 1 person, right? Yeah, there you go. 2 for 1. So at 3 teams, you're at 55% loss in productivity. Loss. 55%. 55%. So in other words, to make up for that person that you just put on 3 teams, and this happens with product owners a lot, you got to hire another person. So is their background and their knowledge and all that stuff worth having to hire another person to do the job? If it is, your company's pretty weak, man. I mean, it's one thing if they're like the CEO of the company and they know everything there is to know, but to be diverse and be sustainable and supportable and all, if you have people in 3 teams, they're down to 55%, 50% productivity loss, right? I mean, 55 goes past the 50. So you're only at 45% productivity at 3 teams in a scaled environment. That ain't working, man. Anyway, wanted to share that with you. And We'll talk more about that, but I think that's really important to understand. So when you could do this numbers, you figure out how much time people are at their core function in your work, and every work's a little slightly different, right? I mean, if we were taking way too much, this is where facilitation, this is where taking the class. So I am teaching the IC Agile team facilitation course. Really important to get the facilitation right, because if you're not facilitating right, these numbers I show you here with these percentages blow up. They get worse, right? They get really bad if your organization does not know how to facilitate its events and its meetings. I should use that as a plug for this for the class I teach. But I mean, it really gets bad. I mean, you can see how fast you got people working on more than one team. They're down 37. If you don't facilitate those meetings, like we're talking, like daily scrums and all, yeah, you can be two teams and you can be like 50% effective really fast. And I see a lot of teams like that. Anyway, with that, I'm going to give a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe. Hit the little bell. Enjoy if you got some treats. I got Super Dad Coffee Cup. Enjoy your holidays with family and friends. Think about your future, what you'd like to do over the next 1 year and 5 year type plans. And just jot them down. Give an idea. Don't go nuts over it, but just think about it. Because as you think about it, it becomes true. All right, with that, cheers. And we'll be on tomorrow, I think. Maybe remotely, but we'll see. And you have a great day and Merry Christmas. Merry post Christmas. Survive. Have fun at work. Happy scrumming. Take care. Bye. Where'd Eddie go?